Hi everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Kai.
So yesterday we talked a bit about the Sun Moon Lake Carnival.
Yeah.
And this is a big fun event. It takes place every September, and you've done it. So
I have.
Tell us a bit about what happens.
So with a huge group of people, up to 25,000 participants, I swam 3,000 meters across the lake, which is also 3 kilometers.
It's Sun Moon Lake, of course.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Taiwan's largest lake. Also one of the most beautiful places to swim. Did you ever just stop and just enjoy the scenery a bit?
Oh, yeah. And because I grew up in California with a lot of ocean access, so I went to the beach. But the water there is really salty.
Yes.
Even if it's fun to swim in, it makes your skin itchy. It can hurt your eyes. It tastes a little bad. So when I was swimming in Sun Moon Lake, sometimes I would just swim and dip my head under and drink a little lake water.
I guess it's clean enough.
Well, you can only go in it once a year.
Right. I suppose, they stop everybody else. But boats and stuff, I don't...
Boats go in a bit, but it's mostly the indigenous people that are allowed to have the most access to the lake. Because it's important, or it's part of their traditional land.
Yeah.
So,
we talked about the indigenous or Aboriginal village of Itatao. That's like that's the destination, right? That's where you're heading. So we're going to bring that up again today. So this event, anyone who is over 10 can take part in it, but they need to be a good swimmer. Yeah.
You need to be a good swimmer. You should practice so that you're comfortable with a cold water situation, but you shouldn't get too worried about getting tired from swimming.
It's a long way, but...
but you are supposed to carry a float, and there are also floating platforms where you can take a break.
Okay, and one thing we learned yesterday is bring sunscreen for your trip, or you will get burned.
Very badly.
So today we'll learn more about Sun Moon Lake. Let's read through day 2 of the article.
Reading.
Sun Moon Lake, an amazing autumn adventure. Don't feel like swimming across the lake? That's not a problem. There are lots of other ways to enjoy Sun Moon Lake in the fall. In the weeks after the carnival, the skies over the lake will light up with spectacular colors. That's during the Sun Moon Lake International Fireworks Festival in October. Late in the month, the area also hosts the Sun Moon Lake Marathon. This challenging race takes runners past famous sites like Wenwu Temple and Si'an Pagoda. After either event, be sure to visit Ida Shao. This lovely village is more than just the finishing line of the Sun Moon Lake Swimming Carnival. As it is an important village of the Aboriginal Shao people, it has lots of interesting local snacks. Many of them, like fried sharp-belly fish, are too good to turn down. Like everything that's going on at Sun Moon Lake this fall, the snacks will keep you coming back for more.
All right, so because we've talked so much about swimming across the lake, the article starts by saying, don't feel like swimming across the lake? That's not a problem.
Yeah, as Kai and I discussed in the introduction to yesterday's article, we've both been to Sun Moon Lake and the area around it.
Yeah.
And as the article says, there are lots of other ways to enjoy Sun Moon Lake in the fall. Fall, of course, autumn, so Taiwan for me doesn't really have a fall the way that we think about it, with leaves changing color and falling off trees. But I guess we mean any time from sort of September down to December.
September, October, November.
Into December. I think the weather is usually pretty similar for those months before it starts getting cold.
Really cold.
Anyway, so what are some of these different events or things we can enjoy?
Yeah, so in the weeks after the carnival, the skies over the lake will light up with spectacular colors. So we don't really know what that is yet, but lighting up is to become bright. So this tells us that something's happening in the sky, something bright, something with light, but in this case, it's not just light, it's something colorful. So spectacular colors.
Yeah, so we could say you might light up a room with some maybe candles or lamps.
Yeah.
Light up a stage with those big spotlights. Here we're talking about lighting up the sky with something spectacular. Spectacular is an adjective that describes something that amazes you to look at. It makes you go, oh, wow, and feel impressed. You kind of want to keep watching it, and it's something that's going to stay in your memory a long time because to see, it was just really great, really amazing. So what is it that's going on here?
Well, so the sky lights up, and why? That's during the Sun Moon Lake International Fireworks Festival in October.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah. So the fireworks festival are those colorful lights. The international part tells us that many different countries are involved. Maybe people from Japan bring like some fireworks they've been developing or something like that. So international is an adjective telling you that it's not just one country.
Right, it's not just Taiwan having a local celebration, this is a big party.
And so the example sentence for international is, if you're flying to Egypt, you have to go to the international airport.
Ah, makes sense, because it's to another country, so you need a big airport with the bigger planes that does that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And here, what we're talking about is an international fireworks festival. So here we're talking about fireworks. Fireworks are explosive devices that are filled with gunpowder and other chemical powders that, when they're heated up and exposed to fire, they explode with a big bang and create colourful fire because of these chemicals. We use fireworks to create light shows in the sky. Back in the old days, they could be used as weapons. You would shoot them at the enemy. They were also good ways of sending messages to people about what was going on. They'd look up and see the lights. These days, we often use fireworks to celebrate big, important events. For example, on November the 5th, people in the UK watch fireworks to celebrate a plan to kill a British king that failed. Look up Guy Fawkes Day if you want to learn more information. Okay, so that's one of our events.
Yep,
we've got
fireworks.
This big international firework festival, and that's in October, but that's not the only thing that takes place in October.
Yeah, late in the month, the area also hosts the Sun Moon Lake Marathon. Yeah, so host is a verb where if you host something, you're in charge of putting on an event.
Right.
So you do all the planning, you invite everyone, you're hosting. Host can also be a noun, which is the person or the group that's in charge of an event. So when you host, you are a host.
That's right.
So the example we have is, Danny hosts the best parties because she's good at making people comfortable and happy.
Yeah, so we can talk about a person, we could also talk about a city or an area hosting something.
Exactly.
Like Tokyo hosting the Olympic Games. Should have been this year, now it's next year.
Right.
Okay, so what is being hosted here? Well, it is a marathon. A marathon is a long-distance running race. It's about 26 miles or 42 kilometers. The name of it is after a place in Greece, ancient Greece, where an important battle happened. And the distance of 26 miles, 42 kilometers, this is the distance from that battlefield to the city of Athens. A man ran all that way to carry news of a victory to the people. Said basically, he ran there and said, "We won."
Yeah.
And then I think he might have just fallen over very tired.
I think that's I was going to say, I remember hearing this story and he died.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe not, because most people who run marathons today are
a
so
little
healthy.
bit fitter.
They
Yeah,
do
we
fine.
see marathons all over the world these days. It's a popular long distance challenge. People will do them for fun, or they will raise money for charity by running. Some people just do one in their life and they kind of like, yep, that's me, I've done a marathon. Some people will make it something they really love to do. There are interesting ones in Taipei and also in Taroko Gorge, which I've often thought that must be a beautiful place to run a marathon. Is that something you would ever do, run a marathon?
For a while, I was training to run a marathon because my friend wanted to, and I thought I would like to run more. Don't care about a marathon. We got to the point where we were running half, so 21 kilometers?
About that.
And I hated it. So I like running, but I don't like running more than 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers.
Okay.
So
sounds very reasonable. Yeah, same for me. I don't think I want to be running that long. I would be happy to walk around Taroko Gorge, but running it is not something that appeals to me.
No, it's so steep. And so some marathons are harder than others.
Right.
This particular one is described in the article as challenging. So they say this challenging race takes runners past famous sites like Wanwu Temple and Pagoda. I haven't been to either of those. Have you?
I can't remember if they were. I went to Sun Moon Lake so many years ago. I've kind of forgotten what we did and didn't see.
Yeah,
but there you go.
It's nice to have things to distract you on a run.
Yeah, especially
something beautiful to look at.
Especially when it's a challenging race.
Yeah. So we've talked about challenging, describing the Sun Moon Lake Marathon. And challenging is an adjective which means quite hard, or actually very hard, but usually in a good way. So a challenge, which is the noun for challenging, is something which is difficult to do, but usually people think about it as worthwhile. So the example is, Chinese writing is often challenging for people who are used to writing with an alphabet.
All right, so we've talked about a fireworks festival and a marathon. And then the article says, after either event, be sure to visit A+, which is this Aboriginal village.
Right. So this lovely village is more than just the finishing line of the Sun Moon Lake Swimming Carnival.
Of course, it's the place where you would get out of the water.
Yeah, but we've got this phrase, more than just. So it means it's not only the place you get out of the water, it's also something which we'll talk about in a moment. But it's a really useful thing to talk about the many different aspects of a particular
thing. Of a place or a thing.
A place, a person. Yeah, like I can say, you know, Pat is not just a teacher. He is more than just a teacher.
Yes.
He's also a father, or also a comedian or something.
Writer, actor,
yes.
All sorts of crazy stuff. And usually the second one, if we say it's not only A but also B, the B is often a bit more significant or interesting, right?
Yeah, because you're saying it's more than.
Yeah, it could also be something surprising we might not expect. So let's learn a bit more about A+. We say, as it is an important village of the Aboriginal Thao people, it has lots of interesting local snacks. Okay, now here we started this sentence with as. In this piece of grammar, as is being used to mean the same thing as because or since. Okay, so because it's this, this is the result. As it's this, this is the result. It's a way to connect up a couple of ideas, giving the reason first and the result later. For example, as I have a big test tomorrow, I need to study hard tonight. So first we have the reason, then we have the consequence or the action. And of course we could say, because or since I have a big test tomorrow, I need to study hard tonight. So we're saying because this is an important cultural village, a lot of Aboriginal people live here, you will definitely find some good local snacks there.
Right. So local is an adjective. It describes something that's nearby, or in this case, from nearby. So these local snacks might be something you can't find other places in Taiwan, or maybe they are made from a specific fish or plant or animal, which is only from that local area.
Sure.
So the example says, the bar on my street hosts a local music night every week to introduce bands from Taipei.
Okay, so it's not big international bands, it's local bands, people from the area.
Only from right around there.
Okay, so we're going to give some, or at least one example of these local snacks. We see many of them, many of the snacks, like fried sharp belly fish, are too good to turn down.
That does sound good.
Yeah, so this is some kind of fish, and we say it is fried. If food is fried, it is cooked in oil, either very lightly fried with a bit of oil, just to make it a little bit, I guess, crunchy or crisp, and also add a bit of flavor from the oil and change the flavor of some of the fish by itself.
Yeah.
You could also deep fry something, which is when you put it in a lot of oil for a longer time to make it super crunchy.
Yeah, often with some extra
flour, bread,
ingredients so that it's
something.
Really crunchy.
Exactly. For example, we could say fried chicken is a popular food in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
And we say about this fish that it is too good to turn down.
So for too good to turn down, we've got this grammar pattern, to adjective, to verb. So if something is too adjective, then there's too much of that, and it stops something else from happening. So that's the verb part. For example, we could say it's too hot to go out, which is very common in the summer, or I'm too tired to work, I'm too tired to focus. Or we can also talk about more abstract verbs, things that you're not doing physically. This is too hard to understand. If it was easier, maybe I could, but it's too hard, so I can't understand it. For example, I'm too angry to talk to Kelly right now. I have to calm down first. So it's a bit dramatic.
So we say this food is too good to turn down.
Right.
The phrasal verb turn down means to reject something. You could refuse it, you say no to it, you say I don't want that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
For example, somebody could turn down a marriage proposal. Will you marry me? No, I will never marry you. Something like that. That man or woman, if she is proposing, is being turned down. He is being rejected. So here we talked about these fried sharp belly fish. Is this something you tried when you were in that area?
Unfortunately, I didn't. So I didn't turn down the food. I just didn't see it.
Okay.
I didn't have the opportunity. But I don't.
There must have been other snacks you had there.
Oh yeah, there was a really nice. I think there was a fish cake.
Okay.
That was really tasty. But why would somebody turn down like a fried sharp belly fish snack? That sounds great.
I might turn it down because I'm not too fond of meat or fish, and I don't eat either really. So, but that's just me. So
Actually, a lot of people turn down fried food because they think it's unhealthy.
True.
Especially if you eat too much of it.
Yeah, I think I'd be tempted to just give it a little try.
Nibble.
Yeah. So do you remember any other snacks apart from the fish cake you had in the village?
I don't. It was about 9 years ago.
Okay, that is going quite a way back.
Yeah, it's hard to remember the specifics of those snacks and things.
Yeah.
But it was a good.
It was a good,
experience.
I don't think we went to the village when we took a boat and we went to a few places, and I remember someone pointing and saying I think Chiang Kai-shek used to live in that big area or something like that. And we did some other stuff around Sun Moon Lake, but I don't remember going to this particular village, so we may have missed it as part of what we were doing that day. Again, it was probably 8-9 years for me as well, so it's going back a bit far.
It's definitely worth going back to.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel. And the article says, like everything that's going on at Sun Moon Lake this fall, the snacks will keep you coming back for more. So we can't really remember the snacks we had, so that's one of the reasons we'll be going back.
Yeah, you got to go, okay, I remember. There are some places, though, that'll go, oh, they have that really good food. I want to go back there just so I can eat that again.
I just remembered something that actually will keep me going back. I had the best tea egg of my life.
Okay.
In, not in 20-2, but in the other little town on the edge where you set off. Oh, it was amazing.
Really good. All right, well, that's a good thing to check out if you do go to Sun Moon Lake. And that does bring us to the end of today's article, but we're not quite finished yet. Join us again in just a moment for today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
right, so we're back for You Chat, and we've talked about all the stuff we can do around Sun Moon Lake, but I think this is a great question. What other areas of Taiwan are great to visit in the fall? And what do you like most about them?
Well, in the fall is a pretty good point. Since I've been living here, I've always found that the best time to travel around is in the months kind of towards the end of September to sometime in December. It seems that the weather in Taiwan is really at its best. At that point. It doesn't rain much, it's not super hot and humid, and you can still see plenty of good nature and you can be outside for a while. Pretty much anywhere along the east coast is great to visit in the fall. I will go back to Taroko Gorge again and again and again. You know, it'll just be one of those places where anytime I've got the opportunity to visit it, because there's always like a new trail or a new little area or somewhere else you can check out.
And even if not, the way it changes in the different seasons. I mean, if you're always going in fall, sure, but you know, you can see it at different times.
Right.
And even the same trail will have a different experience, like going along the river, my favorite trail.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, other areas I like along that coast, it's always fun passing the little point where you go from like across the Tropic of Cancer.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little piece of interest. And there's, what's the name of that place? Down just outside of Tainan. It begins with a D, and I've forgotten it now.
Oh, I can't think of it.
It's a small village, but a lot of people stay there, and there's a hiking trail up a mountain nearby, a place where water runs uphill. I'm kicking myself because I can't remember the name of it. But
is it just like a casual like village vacation kind of thing?
Kind of. Yeah, a lot of little tourist places, some nice restaurants, and it's a good place to stay if you're going down to that area and you maybe don't want to go into Tainan. And I'm really annoyed because the name of it has just gone pop out of my mind. But it's got a forest and it's got some other cool stuff, and I think you can get to the beach. So. Oh
wow, you can really do everything.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Nice. I just wish I could remember the name. What about you? Any areas that you like to go in fall?
I think somewhere like Jiufen would be really amazing in the fall, because you can get those great views over the ocean and enjoy that sort of cool weather, which Jiufen is usually more comfortable because it faces the sea. It has a little bit of height, so it's a little bit cooler, but especially in the fall when the air is getting a little bit cold and the streets are so narrow, you can go through them and feel like you're in a movie or a novel or something. Sounds really good fun. I think Jiufen is my favorite for the fall.
What about you guys? Where would you like to visit in the fall? Where do you like to go at that time of year? Have a chat, talk with each other, and we're out of time for today. So thanks for watching, everybody. For English for You, I'm Pat.
And I'm Kai.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Sun Moon Lake, an amazing autumn adventure. Don't feel like swimming across the lake? That's not a problem. There are lots of other ways to enjoy Sun Moon Lake in the fall. In the weeks after the carnival, the skies over the lake will light up with spectacular colors. That's during the Sun Moon Lake International Fireworks Festival in October. Late in the month, the area also hosts the Sun Moon Lake Marathon. This challenging race takes runners past famous sites like Wenwu Temple and Si'an Pagoda. After either event, be sure to visit Ida Shao. This lovely village is more than just the finishing line of the Sun Moon Lake Swimming Carnival. As it is an important village of the Aboriginal Shao people, it has lots of interesting local snacks. Many of them, like fried sharp-belly fish, are too good to turn down. Like everything that's going on at Sun Moon Lake this fall, the snacks will keep you coming back for more.
Vocabulary Review.
International. Emma works for an international organization, so she often has to call her co-workers in Australia and Singapore. fireworks. On Chinese New Year's Eve, Dad set off some fireworks outside our house. Host. Tokyo will host the next Olympic Games in the summer of 2021. Challenging. Climbing up this mountain is challenging, so you should train for it first. Local. When you visit Italy, you should try the local cheeses. I hear that they're delicious. Fried. Fried foods like French fries are tasty, but they're not very healthy.
智慧小补帖
Spectacular. Marathon.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net